Welcome back to the deep dive. We spend so much time talking about how technology is making us faster, more connected, maybe even smarter. But what if, just maybe, it's also making us a little bit lazy? That's the real tension we're digging into today. You've shared an amazing set of sources with us, articles, some research, even personal takes, and they really lay out compelling arguments on both sides. So, our mission today isn't just to list pros and cons. Okay, let's unpack this. We want to understand the deeper impact of all these devices and AI woven into our daily lives. I mean, from our smart alarms waking us up to the AI helping with work, even how we relax. We rely on machines constantly. The big question isn't if tech changes us, it's how. Is this dependency genuinely boosting our skills, or is it maybe fostering a kind of comfort that stops us from really engaging?
It's such a critical question. What's fascinating here is, as the sources highlight, it's not just about what the tech does for us. It's really about how interacting with it day in and day out actually reshapes our thinking, our
Yeah.
habits. And yeah, it's definitely not black and white. It's more like a whole spectrum of how we adapt to these incredibly powerful tools. We're looking at the very core of human-machine interaction, really.
Okay, let's start with the positives then, the smart side, where technology genuinely empowers us. One thing that jumps out from the sources is just the incredible ease of getting information. We say just one click away with Google or ChatGPT. But think about that. It's not just finding a quick fact, it's like instantly expanding our own mental capacity,
Yeah.
right? The sources suggest this frees up brain space, stuff we used to use for memorizing things or digging through books. Now we can focus more on analysis and innovation.
Synthesizing information rather than just collecting it.
And it's not just finding info, it's how we learn. The sources talk a lot about smart applications actively helping. Things like AI tutors, language apps, skill platforms. They adapt to you, instant feedback, engaging ways to learn complex stuff.
It's personalized learning on a scale that was, frankly, unimaginable just a short while ago.
Yeah.
It makes advanced learning much more accessible.
And then there are the productivity tools, Google Calendar, keeping track of everything, AI, taking notes in meetings. It just streamlines things.
Absolutely. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, these tools, when you use them right, they really do amplify human potential. It lets us process way more information, pick up new skills faster, manage complex schedules like never before.
You mentioned cognitive offloading earlier.
Exactly. That's the term, cognitive offloading. It's like outsourcing the mental tasks that don't really need our unique human touch. Think about complex calculations or transcribing meeting notes. If tech handles that, it frees up our mental energy
For what, though? What's the game?
for higher level thinking, critical analysis, creative problem solving, ethical considerations, developing real insights. It shifts the focus from just knowing facts to actually understanding and applying them. So in that sense, yes, these tools can make us smarter by enabling a more sophisticated kind of intelligence. They become extensions of our minds.
Technology as an extension of intelligence. I like that.
Yeah.
But it does make you wonder, if we extend ourselves too much, do we risk weakening our own core abilities? And the sources definitely explore that possibility. So let's pivot. Let's look at the lazy side, where all that convenience might actually backfire. Here's where it gets really interesting.
The potential pitfalls.
Right. One point raised is about memory, how we rely on voice assistants for quick answers, or to remember things for us, like asking your phone, what was that actor's name, instead of actually trying to recall it yourself. It's efficient, sure.
Super efficient in the moment.
But the sources suggest that always outsourcing that retrieval might, weaken our brain's own search function over time. It could impact how we form long-term memories.
It's like that analogy. Use a car for every trip, even short ones, and your legs get weaker. It's the mental version of that.
And it goes beyond just memory. What about physical activity? Online shopping, food delivery? Incredibly convenient.
Undeniably.
But the sources link this directly to reduced physical activity. We click instead of walk, order in instead of maybe moving around the kitchen. It's not just missing a few steps, it's this bigger shift to being sedentary. And the research connects that lack of movement to mental fuzziness, lack of focus.
Absolutely. Mind and body are linked. Physical inactivity often translates to mental sluggishness. It's all connected.
Then there's the academic side. The concern that students might just copy-paste from the internet instead of actually thinking through the material.
Yeah, bypassing the critical engagement, the struggle that often leads to real understanding.
And we can't ignore social media addiction, spending hours scrolling, instead of doing, well, real tasks or engaging more deeply.
This raises an important question. What happens to our ability to persevere, to problem solve, when convenience consistently replaces genuine effort? if answers are always instant, if we always offload complex thinking? Do we lose that vital process of grappling with problems, that trial and error that builds intellectual muscle?
Like the GPS example you mentioned earlier.
Exactly. You get there, but you don't build the internal map. We risk becoming great at finding information, but maybe not so good at synthesizing it into knowledge. And that ties into passive consumption versus active learning. Scrolling social media is often very passive. It's a constant stream, low engagement, gives you that little dopamine hit, but it rarely challenges you or deepens understanding.
Instant gratification.
Right. And that loop, the sources imply, can easily push aside more meaningful, productive activities. It can erode our ability to focus for longer periods, to think critically. The easy path isn't always the one that helps us grow.
That distinction is crucial, feeding the brain versus exercising it. Which brings us nicely to the core idea from the sources, the balance. Technology itself isn't good or bad, it's neutral. Everything depends on how we use it.
Precisely. It's all in the application.
The sources put it very clearly. Using AI to save time, smart. Leveraging it to automate boring stuff, synthesize data quickly, draft ideas, that frees us up for the complex creative work. But the flip side, using AI to avoid thinking, lazy. Letting it do all the intellectual work, copying without understanding, relying on it when we should be developing the idea ourselves.
That's the critical difference.
And the example they give is perfect. Using a calculator for big math problems is smart, but using it for 2 plus 2 is lazy.
Yeah, that nails it.
For complex stuff, it's a tool, it enhances our ability, saves time, prevents errors, lets us focus on the bigger picture. But for basic arithmetic, using it bypasses that foundational mental step, the very thing that builds numerical sense. It's choosing not to make even a simple cognitive effort.
It highlights personal responsibility, doesn't it? That conscious choice in how we interact with these tools.
So the question for all of us is this tool making me better, or am I just using it to avoid the effort of getting better?
Exactly. Technology is an amplifier. It can amplify intelligence, creativity, productivity.
Or it can amplify complacency, dependence, maybe even make our thinking shallower.
The key factor is intentionality. Are we consciously using tech to expand our capabilities, offload the mundane, to focus on deeper work? Or are we just passively letting it erode our skills, letting it do the work for us instead of with us?
Requires self-awareness then.
Definitely. A kind of digital mindfulness. When you reach for that app or that AI tool, just asking yourself, why am I doing this? Is it to build a skill, gain insight, or am I just trying to skip the hard part? Because true knowledge, real understanding, it doesn't just come from access. It comes from wrestling with information, evaluating it, applying it. Tech can help massively, but it can't do that core work for you. That's still on us.
That focus on intention is so important, and it leads right into what the sources suggest about the future. If AI keeps getting more capable, what does this all mean for us? One prediction that really stands out is AI may do most jobs. That's a big one. Exciting for some, maybe terrifying for others.
It's certainly provocative. It forces a reevaluation of what human roles might look like.
So, yeah, what does it mean for us?
Well, if AI takes over more routine, data-driven, even complex analytical tasks, then our uniquely human strengths become even more critical. The sources point specifically to things like creativity, emotions, complex problem-solving with nuance.
Stuff AI can't easily replicate.
At least not yet, and perhaps not ever in the same way. Things like intuition, empathy, abstract thinking, true originality. This means we need to shift our focus, maybe in education and personal growth.
Away from just knowing facts AI can find instantly.
Exactly. Toward cultivating skills like original thought, emotional intelligence, adaptability, dealing with ambiguity, skills that complement AI rather than compete with it head-on.
And the sources mentioned digital discipline.
Yes, as a vital future skill. It's not about ditching tech, obviously. It's about mastering our relationship with it, being intentional. Like the sources say, limit screen time, but use AI tools wisely. It's finding that balance.
So the future isn't necessarily humans versus AI?
Probably not. More like humans with AI, a symbiotic relationship. But that collaboration requires us to be really conscious about how and when we engage, making sure technology enhances our humanity, not diminishes it.
Okay, so wrapping up this deep dive, it feels like the answer to smart or lazy isn't simple. It's not predetermined.
Not at all. It's a dynamic balance.
And it really comes down to our choices. The message from your sources seems crystal clear. Use tech as a tool, intentionally, to boost your abilities, free up your mind.
Yeah.
And it makes you smarter, more capable.
amplifies your potential?
but let it become a crutch. Use it to dodge effort, avoid thinking. Then yes, it definitely fosters laziness and can weaken our abilities. Tool versus crutch.
That sums it up beautifully.
So, what does this all mean for you listening? As you go about your day using all these digital tools, maybe pause and consider this. Are you actively practicing that digital discipline? Are you consciously using technology to get smarter, to build skills, deepen understanding? Or has it maybe subtly started to encourage habits that lean more towards convenience over effort, towards, well, laziness? It's a question worth asking yourself regularly, especially as these technologies keep evolving right alongside us. Thanks for joining us on the deep dive.